Today I'm gonna talk about the modules. So, because we don't want to put all classes, features, functions, um, or properties on global object, so we want to separate that by component. Though each module is responsible for some specific functions. This part I'm going to talk about how to use that. So basically you need to export some whatever you want to from a module, and when you want to use it you just import that in your file. So first, how to export basic objects, including variable. Just use keyword export, const let a, and right here you just import object. You need a curly bracket. A from then you can use a right here. Variable a, and after then you wanna export some constant. B. You can also do function. Seven. And you can also do class export constructor name this name. We add a simple method here. show name vehicle, right? So this is some basic usage of export and import, right? You just export whatever the variable, function, class, everything you want, and when you want to use it, you just import that from another file. So after that, we want to do export all variables, or whatever variables, functions, or a class, or it include everything at once. So suppose you have C D you want to export that at once, so export again, right? So you can also put some not only variables, const, functions, or class, it doesn't matter. So import c d from export all at once, CDE, right? So sometimes when you export that, set alias for your variable, blah blah blah, function, class, stuff. So suppose you have a function, so export that, we call it add. So now we know we have a function called named add, right? So we don't want to use add, so we use as keyword. So import add as alias from 3, and now we do alias 99 and a 100, right? And there is also a export default. Why we need export default? When we don't want to know what is inside of the modules. We don't want to know everything about the detail of the modules. We would just want to use it. We just want to use it directly. So that's the reason why we use default. When you use default, when you import that, you don't have to know what the name, exact name, like the function name, the variable name, you just import that directly. So suppose export we want to do export default const cdf. See, there is an error here. You cannot do this in this way. There is a slight difference between export and export default. So the way you do that, you can only do this. You have to declare that first, then export default. So export default const or let variable name is not allowed. Alright, you have to do it this way. So when you want to use it, right here, you don't need curly bracket anymore. You just set a name for it. So let's don't do f, because we don't know what is in this file, in the modules file, right? So we don't know f. We do don't. I don't know from, right? You can see here default export, right? Second, export default cannot be declared twice, because we don't know the name of the functions and the variables. So if you declare export default, it is not default anymore. So when we use it, we still need to identify which one is which one. So it will lose the meaning of export default. So let's do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and see, error here, right? Only one default export allowed per module. All right. So we cannot do that. So C, use export. We want to use export default and export at the same time. So suppose I just export this, right? So F is the default and G is export. So how we use that? So this one is default, and the export one, we still need to know the name of it. Default, non-default. Default export, non-default export, right? You just import in this way. The first one is the default, and second one is non-default, right? Okay, one last thing is export all at once. Export all at once. So this part, you do exactly the same thing as when you export variables. When you do export, what does this mean? So now I just remove this. We want to export default. We want to export default F and a G at the same time. Right here we do I don't know, from as you can see here, this is an object, right? So when you want to use it, you can use it this way. Default export, non-default export. So the variables or the functions or classes will be a property of this module, of this IDK object. All right. So yeah, this is pretty much everything about the modules. Modules is very useful in our daily programming. Yeah. Okay. This is pretty much about today. Thank you.